it isn't until the last moment you come around the last corner, you're still hopeful that you might find, by a miracle, the house had been saved. But coming around the corner, you could see it was all crumbled. The mud bricks were standing, the chimney, but as other buildings we've seen along the road, everything burns out. Yeah, the toll of the bushfires, you can see it far and wide, and especially with Christmas coming up, because it's always, New Year's Day is always a remembrance of what had happened and what people have lost, and the trauma that a lot of people still experience. At the time I described it as daunting. I would say now it's been a process of patience, starting with the actual cleanup. That took a long time, and then getting into the mode of finding a new design, a new build, a builder. I definitely thought it was going to be more like a 2 or 3 year process, not 5 years plus. Making a house fireproof is a combination of things. So one is non-combustible materials on the outside and no combustible materials around it, and having no gaps in that ceiling structure. So yes, the whole building is sealed with a whole layer of magnesium oxide board, and then over that is another layer of exterior cladding, which is fiber cement board, both of which are non-combustible, non-flammable, and self-extinguishing. Have everything closed, so windows fully encased in non-combustible material. The eaves are all fully clad, so the sprinkler system runs within the eaves. The same with the gaps under the house. The bottom of the house is also clad in non-combustible material as another layer of, even if flames do get under. Reinsurance is an interesting question. The choice is probably to not go ahead and insure that, because ultimately I'd rather spend $7,000 a year in fighting having big tanks and sprinkler systems and passive and active systems that I can use to defend against a fire. I'm a lot more confident than this house would withstand fires. I'm also not going to leave anything around the house anymore, that could burn and potentially make the situation worse. So I think we've all gotten a lot wiser. Everyone in the bush is like, you bring your firewood right to your doorstep, because that's a handy place to store it. Obviously you can't do that. You can't have heaps of greenery around the house that could burn. You have to keep it clear either with paving or rocks. This place is still a home of sorts, but I do find myself spending less time here than before the fires, when it was really like the settled down place. It's not a rush project anymore. It's about preserving the finances, because obviously when the builder goes and you've already paid everything, you have to build the rest on the budget. So the divisions that happened after fires, they're still there. Things still drag on from that. People still blame people who yelled at the Prime Minister, who the follow-up from refusing to shake his hands unless he was going to fund the fireys better. That's still ongoing, and yeah, it still has repercussions in Cobargo to this day. There's signs of hope with the town rebuild having started this year and planned to be finished in June next year. So that is a really positive sign, I think, for Cobargo. But a lot of people are still without homes, not being able to rebuild and move into the house, even if it's in the process of being rebuilt. These things will happen again, and with climate change not being addressed, will have a much higher chance to happen. And so the best thing would be to mitigate that and not hope for the best. Prepare, make a plan, write down what you're going to do. Are you going to stay? If you're going to go, do you have everything ready? What are you going to take? But also, what are you doing to make the house be able to withstand a fire? And both passive defenses and active defenses. Make sure that if you want to come back to it with the likely chance that it's there, then you have to do a lot of work throughout the year and every year again, just to give yourself the best chance.